You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
It's playing
disappointed.
Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple
Go
guy,
back
and
to
I,
the
I
world
live
of
my
Frank
life by really
Starfire.
simple means, you know what I mean?
It's an
And,
amazing
I live by
place.
simple mottos and credos
You
and
know,
phrases and everything because it works for me, you know what I mean?
wonderful
Lately,
happens.
I've adopted a new
It was
one.
interesting. What I learned is that bicep curls and shit like that, it serves no real purpose, mainly because if you think about it, it's not a practical application of muscle usage. How much do you really lift like this? You know what I'm saying? It's really just to make it look good. It's really cosmetic. You know what I'm saying? You don't really lift things this way. You know what I'm saying? And then all the strength of anything you're going to do, if you're going to punch somebody, it's coming from this, not this, unless you're Roy Jones Jr., in which case.
Or I heard it's this.
Well, it's your forearm, but your tricep. But look at the way the muscle goes. Your tricep goes into that. So all the force you generate is coming from that. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from that.
I need this part to look good for the ladies.
Well, there you go. And as long as you have that, our priority.
For my lady, she likes that part.
Well, there you go. Listen.
I don't care about fighting. I don't care about fighting. I'm not trying to punch nobody. I'm trying to get some ass. I'm trying to get my lady to give me some ass.
I don't see why both can't be true. They're not mutually exclusive, but what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire. You see my boy Shaun Wallace. You know what we're doing. Agree to disagree tonight. Couple of interesting ones.
Ho, everybody.
Ho in this motherfucker.
We in the Christmas spirit.
I don't have that. Not a holiday.
I didn't even want it. I don't like this time of year. But
why?
Being that I'm celebrating it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel bad.
Why do you not like the holiday?
Because of how the system monetizes everything and capitalizes off of this like end of the month or the end of the year fiscal responsibilities of corporations and stuff like that. And you know how all this useless stuff that we spend money on is thrown on sale and on clearance and all that stuff like that. But you'll never see that on my electric bill. You'll never see a discount on my car load. Yeah, no, the bills don't get discounted.
Bills don't get discounted. They don't get no Christmas discount for fucking electric, water, lights and shit.
So I just hate how we've been pulled into this whole
I mean, I can't lie.
Spending all of our money on useless materials.
Frivolous bullshit. And for me, the holidays stopped having meaning when my grandmoms or moms died. Like, I stopped giving a fuck, honestly. Like, and you know, my brother and my sister and all my siblings, they're still into it. And that kind of gets me into it to a degree, you know what I'm saying? So there's that, because it should be about family. It should be about the togetherness, the family, and all that good shit. But what we've turned it into is this greedy, money grubbing bullshit that we have. And I agree. I think it's tasteless. I think it's pointless. But at the same time, the flip side is it should be about family. It should be about togetherness. It should be about making it through, and we made it through another.
It technically is about family.
It should be about family, but not everybody sees it that way.
Celebrating life.
Yeah.
And celebrating our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Oh, I don't even think about that shit. That don't even cross my mind, because honestly, the truth is, if Jesus really existed, the truth is he probably would have been born sometime during the summer or fall, and it would have taken those three wise motherfuckers about that till Christmas to get to him. So I could see that, but he wasn't born on Christmas Day. Christmas is a combination of two pagan holidays, Saturnalia and the Winter Solstice Festival. And I think through Saturnalia you get the feasts and all that, and through the Winter Solstice Festival you get the juniper trees or the Christmas tree and all that. Santa Claus is a product of I forget how to say it. I think it's Automata muscara. It's a mushroom that's red in color, but it has like white dots all over it. And reindeer, which is a form of elk, are attracted to it. They eat it. So people probably followed along behind the deer, were hunting deer, probably ate the shrooms themselves and saw reindeer flying. And you know what I'm saying? But that's how you get the association of Christmas, of Santa Claus to Christmas. You know what I'm saying? The red and white is from the mushrooms. And if you look at a lot of all those old Christmas cards, you'll notice they all had mushrooms on them. If you ever notice that shit, like a lot of those old, like Stubing, you know, those artistically ass Christmas cards with Santa and all that. If you ever look at them, really, they have a lot of mushrooms and shit on them. So psychedelic mushrooms are part of the festivals, are part of the holiday as well.
All of like Santa Claus came from all that.
Yeah. At least that's one working theory, yeah.
And they put in. So where did the fat white guy with the big beard?
Saint Nicholas was they took Santa Claus, the mushroom, and they associated with Saint Nicholas, who I think he's the patron saint of children or some shit. I forget what. And there's also a story of Krampus. Krampus is a real story as well. The Anti-Claus, like that's a real story. So Christmas goes deep, man. There's a lot to it.
Did you watch Big Mouth?
I have never watched Big Mouth, and I keep meaning to because it looks hilarious.
It is hilarious. And they had a Christmas show, and they warned you like you're gonna see Santa Claus's dick. So Santa Claus is banging Mrs. Claus like really good. And the elves came in and busted them. And they were like, oh my God, what is he doing? And then all the elves went back and they were all congregating or whatever. And it was like, you won't believe what Santa Claus was doing. So they demonstrated what he was doing.
I think I need to watch it.
Two of them started to enjoy it, and then the others was like, well, I want to do that too. It turned into this big orgy of elves.
All right, I think I need to watch Big Mouth. That sounds interesting. I can dig that. But yeah, man, you know, it's funny. It's interesting. Like the holidays are here, and I don't know, man. Like just the new year and everything is just bringing new vibes, and I'm hoping for peace and blessings in the new year for everybody.
It's just another day, right?
Yeah, exactly. To me, it is, and to you, it is. But some people really get into it. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I know a young lady who she never got to celebrate Christmas growing up, so now she's balls to the wall with it. She's having a blast, and I'm not even mad at her. Like, that shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting to see.
No, I'm talking about like the new year. Everybody makes this whole big deal.
Man,
new year, new me.
Yeah,
gonna do this for the year. I'm gonna do that for the year.
Asshole you were last year, and so am I. So it doesn't really fucking matter. Stop this new year, new me bullshit. You ain't changing shit. The only thing you're gonna change is the calendar, motherfucker, man. Cut it out.
We're so destructive. We're just ruining everybody's holiday season.
Sorry, y'all.
I'm trying to bring cheer.
And I'm bringing it right the fuck back down because fuck that. We're gonna temper expectations and we're gonna be realistic about this shit.
Oh God, what's your book reading knowledge?
Don't judge my knowledge. Don't judge my books. Books are good.
Books are good. Books are good.
But no, you know
I like audiobooks. Does that make me a reader?
No, because you're not reading. You're listening. I guess
I'm listening to a book. I read it.
In a way, but you know what's funny? I can't do it. I can't do audio books and I can't read on like a Kindle. I cannot do that shit. I need pages and paper. I want ink smears and the smell of, and I want paper cuts and all that shit. I still read the newspaper, man. I want to read the fucking paper.
I like audio. I like audiobooks much better. I've never been one to be a reader because it puts me straight to sleep.
Oh, see, books used to be my only friend.
Paragraph. I don't care what it is. I don't care. Well, actually, you know what's crazy is that I can read on my phone all day, but when it comes
reading
to
a book,
newspapers,
and
letter,
yeah,
like Tiana, she'll write you a fucking.
She will write you a letter, and her penmanship is fucking impeccable.
Yeah.
And I write
but
like
even her text messages of books. Like, yo, I can't. What'd you say? I'll put it in text to speech.
No, you know what? I can't. I like books for me. Books for a long time were like my only friends. Like I developed friendships with the characters in books because that's what I had, and I just developed a lifelong love of reading from watching my mom read, watching my grandmoms read, I watched people read, so I wanted to do what the grown-ups was doing, and they were reading, so I wanted to read. And it just stuck. It's one of those things that I'll do now. I've got shelves full of books, comic books, automotive engine manuals, plumbing book. Like, I don't give a fuck. If it's interesting to me, I'm gonna read that shit. And problem is, I find a lot of things interesting. Very much. And the other problem I have with audiobooks is if the author themselves doesn't read it, I don't always like it. Sometimes I don't want to hear an actor reading the book. I want to hear the author reading their own book. It's very weird.
No, that's not weird at all. That makes sense.
Yeah. But we have some interesting topics tonight. So I'm gonna start off with one of them that's a little bit. This one might take a while to kind of sift through, but you asked the question: Can women propose?
Oh, you like that one?
I do like that one. I did, because I'm one of those people that thinks that the traditional gender roles are stupid. And I don't see a problem with a woman proposing to the person she loves. I don't see a problem with that. I think that it's, to do it the old-fashioned way it's romantic and all that, but if a girl gets down on her knee and proposes to me, shit, man, that shit would fucking bring me to tears, I think. Honestly, I'm such a sentimental sap. I would probably cry and then say yes. But
oh my God. Ooh, you serious?
I am, because, like I said, I think traditional gender roles are part of an archaic institution that kind of diminishes women and elevates men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the patriarchal systems are shit. I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm a feminist or what, but I genuinely believe that in this world, in the way, you know what I'm saying, we've gotten past the idea that a woman's place is in the home, raising kids, doing that. Listen, there are women who are running Fortune 500 companies, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, who are we to tell anybody how they express their love?
You know what? This kind of goes into, it can kind of take us back to what we were talking about last time, when who chooses who.
Right.
I didn't like the gender role of that. Like, oh, it's the man that chooses the woman instead of the woman choosing the man. I said, I was like, yo, it's like, it's basically like, who's the initiator,
Right.
right? But in this particular instance, I'm sorry. If I had like he has to initiate it. He has to.
Why?
Now you said you would like it. You would love it actually.
I mean, listen, the truth is, if I'm in love with this person and she has it in her mind that she wants to marry me and she takes the initiative to propose, there's no way I'm saying no. Like honestly, especially if I love you, like I'm somebody that genuinely loves easily and wholeheartedly. You will get all of me with no problem. So if you hold all that and you really do want to spend the rest of your life with me, shit, fuck yeah, let's do that shit.
Why doesn't it happen more often though? I mean, I see it happen a lot. And the most recent time I saw it, it was a video, and she was like crying profusely, and it was like it would look like so much desperation in this proposal, like she really meant it. She's been thinking about this a lot,
Right.
and they probably, I don't know how long they've been dating or whatever.
Did
but
he say
it
yes?
just seemed like, did he say yes? He did say yes. He did say yes.
Okay.
He did say yes.
See, you know what it is? I think a lot of the times we like we're talking about the systems in place. You know, the systems in place are designed to keep men here, women here. So it's only natural to our thought process that men should propose to women.
Mhm.
But if you step outside of that and just think about it logically, anybody can propose to anybody. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
there's no real right or wrong way. It's just, do you love this person enough to say yes? Or do you love this person enough to even attempt this? Because honestly, if the motherfucker's saying no, even if it's a man proposing to a woman, if she's saying no, that's fucked up. And then I guess this begs the question: if the person that you propose to says no, is the relationship over?
Ooh.
And I personally would say no, because I think that if I propose to you or you propose to me and I'm not ready for marriage or you're not ready for marriage, saying no is an option. But, you know, say yes in public and then take me to the side. Like, listen, look, I said yes.
Put a pause on it. Listen.
Take me to the side, man. It's like, come on.
I don't know if I'm too old school for this. I don't know. She can't propose. She can't propose to me.
I mean,
she can't propose to
your
me.
wife?
I did.
Okay.
Was there ever... and it was, huh?
No, go ahead.
No, but it was like, and it's like, I don't know. The impromptu proposals, like, this is my decision. Again, if you haven't spoken about, you know, getting married or
Right.
what kind of life you're gonna have moving forward before you even ask this question, like, there's a lot that has to go down. Now, I would say, I mean, I respect that you don't really fuck with the gender roles and everything like that. And I would just say that more women are, I want to say, trying to get married, or they want to be married.
Right.
They aspire for it. And men, we seem terrified of it.
I'm not. I want to be married. I want to get married, have kids, all that shit, man.
And you know what? It's something that we do have to get away from. It's like we're living like, all right, so if the majority of men do this, then that means you know what I'm saying, that you would then be grouped in that because a lot of men are reluctant from it. So now Frank has to deal with the Frank has to deal with the fact that, hey, I do want to get married. I'm not scared. Let's go.
I'm not, because the idea, look, I've seen a number of broken homes. I've seen, most of my close friends, they didn't grow up in a household with two parents. And, I want to break that cycle beyond measure. And like, I was, there was I don't know if you noticed, but there was like a threat of a school shooting up here where I'm at.
Okay.
So, I want to, I'm going to have a conversation with my ex's kids because they're of a certain age and they were affected by it. And the truth is, in this day and age with shit like that and all this that's going on, the norms, the traditions and the norms of what we grew up on, they don't hold as much sway anymore. We kind of have to acclimate ourselves to a new world in a way, to the idea that these kids see more, they know more.
They don't know shit.
Yes, they do. They
No,
don't.
they don't.
Listen, let me
No,
tell
they
you something.
don't.
Kids know
No, they
way
don't.
more than you ever give them credit for. And that was something I always hated as a kid.
No.
That was something
Kids-
I hated as a kid, that everybody always talked down to us, even though we may have had great ideas, right ideas, good, strong thoughts about these things, but because we were children, everybody dismisses it. You know what I'm saying? And that shit always pissed me off, because I'm like, I would listen to my friends say things that made absolute fucking sense, or listen to adults say shit that made absolutely no fucking sense. And when you try and call that shit out, shut the fuck up, go sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't grow up in a way that allowed for us to express our ideas. And maybe they were muddled with kid crazy shit. But if you sit through the fucking muck of that, you'd find gems of enlightenment if you ever took the time to listen. Kids know shit. They pay attention. They see things. They hear things. They listen to adults talk. Even though we may not always notice them, they listen to what we're saying. They see what we're doing.
They absorb. Children, teenagers, or teenagers not so much. Teenagers not so much, but they absorb a lot.
Well,
that's kind of the position that we put them in.
Well, that's why I say, if you want to learn a second language, learn it as a child, because it's easier for a child to learn it than it is an adult. I don't know why that is, but kids have an easier time absorbing new information.
There was a study that I saw that said a kid that starts first grade, and like their enthusiasm compared to a kid in 12th grade, and their reluctance to even be in that.
Yeah.
And it's like they're past. It's like, they're past this point of like learning. They're getting. They should be in the field of, practice.
Did you go to kindergarten?
Yes.
I did not. I did not go to kindergarten. When we were kids, kindergarten was not a mandatory class, so I never went to kindergarten.
It's not a mandatory class.
It is now.
It is? Oh.
Yeah. You have to go to pre-K and kindergarten now. And I remember going to school for first grade. I started first grade, and I remember going, and I remember feeling like I was more advanced than the other kids, because I was. But I remember feeling that way, like, yo, y'all don't know how to write your name, you don't know how to read. Like, what are we doing here? What the fuck? What are we doing? Like, how do y'all not know this shit already? And because when I would sit at home, my mother would read books, I'd pick up her book and read that shit. And nobody ever stopped me from reading what I was reading. Nobody ever said, hey, you shouldn't be reading that. There was no limitations put on that, which is probably why at 7 years old, I wanted to be a contract killer by day and a stripper by night. That's something else. But but nobody questioned why I wanted to do that. They were just like, okay. But again, like this traditional roles of what we grew up with and what are now, they're different. They're vastly different. These kids don't think the same way. They see things a lot differently.
Well, I still respect and expect to be treated as a man. I do find value in my manhood, and a woman proposing to me just strips that away. Maybe some guys don't.
Why? Why does that trip your thing? Why does it like bug you as a man that a woman would love you so much that she would propose?
Let's look at it. Am I gonna wear the engagement ring? I'm not.
I imagine she would.
She bought herself a ring.
Well, I mean, you know what? That's
then the whole hold on. So
okay.
Then the whole process of her getting down in front of me and like bowing to me, I guess, like it's not so. I don't know. I mean, I've seen it. From what I've seen, it just looks right. You know what I'm saying? A man getting down on his knees, begging this woman to accept his hand in marriage.
I agree.
A woman getting down and begging, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and it just feels like she's. I don't know. It just doesn't seem natural. It doesn't seem natural to me. I can't even give you a logical explanation. I'm being honest.
Right. So what if there?
It just feels wrong. It just feels wrong.
Let's take the ring out of the equation. Let's take the ring out of the equation. And let's take
one of those pagan things.
Kneeling down and bowing out of it. What if your girl just turned to you one day and was like, "Hey, you want to get married?" You know what I'm saying? Like she just like, hey,
that's a fucking big question. That's a big question to just. That's a big question to just.
It is a big question, but if she just turns to you and says, "Hey, I've been thinking about this for a while. We've been together for a while. We've been doing X, Y, Z. You know, I love you. You love me. Do you want to get married?" If she did that, again, I don't see a problem with that. Take the ring and all that out of it. Take all the traditional shit out of the equation. And what you're left with is simply just an expression of love. And she's expressing that to you in the normal way that somebody would. Would you marry? Will you marry me?
Well, if you look at it, that is a very untraditional way about going about marriage. So the way that you laid that out, sure, why not? There's nothing like, but we're not going the legally binding route. Like, we probably don't have to do that if we're just getting away from tradition here.
Well, I mean, she really wants to go and have a ceremony, or at least something where it's like a celebration of your love in front of your friends and her friends together and intermingling these families with the same level of pomp and circumstance.
Also does not require a legal document.
I mean, no, it doesn't, but at the same time, because you think it's some financial shit, but
that's what marriage is.
It is. It's a contract. It is definitely
a business decision.
It's a business decision too. Let's not gloss over that. Getting married.
So can she afford me? Well, now we're gonna go there. So since she is proposing to me, is she gonna be you know what I'm saying, like
a financial burden? Well, obviously,
no.
Yeah, I mean, you're a financial burden. You wouldn't want to do that.
As a man, you know what I'm saying, when you do that, you be like, look, I want to give you the sun, moon, and the stars. I promise to take care of you. Da, 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 da. Like there's a lot of promises that go along with that, and you know,
I mean, marriage.
it's never. It's not. It's not. It's in a normal sense. I don't see many women marrying down.
No.
They usually
Marry up.
usually get somebody that is doing better than them,
Yeah.
or it did never
Traditionally, that's what you see.
that's not tradition. This is not that's not tradition.
Well, I don't know what you'd call that, but I guess that's ingrained in it's instincts, you know. But think about it.
No, not instincts, that's statistics. It's just,
but think about it. That's instinct, because even in nature that happens. You always want the female always wants the biggest, strongest elk or bear, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever type of species it is, they always want the biggest, strongest one. Why? Because it offers protection, it offers status, you know what I'm saying? And the same goes for humans. The higher up you are in the world in that degree, the more of a prize you are to the women who look up to you. But flip the script. Let's say it's a woman who's in that position of power, and you are as a man trying to marry up, which, you know, guys do as well. Like, you know, so if this woman proposed,
I mean, we would love to. I think we would love to, but it's just that it's rarely happens.
It rarely happens.
Even the ones that do marry up usually are the ones that propose.
Basically. But again,
like it's just, maybe it's just too rare for me to understand. And then every time I see it, it just looks weird.
I mean, again, but you know what? The more it happens, the more you get used to it. That's like anything.
I'll be honest. I feel like an asshole. I feel like an asshole. It shouldn't be that bad. It doesn't. It shouldn't be that bad. And I think I might have to agree with you that it's there's nothing wrong with it. There shouldn't be anything wrong with it.
There shouldn't be.
You should be able to propose to a man.
Right. Just like you should be able to propose to her in the same way. Like, hey, baby, you know, we've been together for a while. You know, I love you. You know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere. You would marry me? It should be so easy. It should be something that's just so blasé. The expression of your love.
Because women know, I mean, I think a lot of women know. A lot of women know if they want to marry the person that they're with. They usually, but it comes with this whole song and dance of like, when are you gonna do it? And some of them like really will argue and fight with you over when you're going to propose to me, or something like that. Yeah, yeah. So why wouldn't she just do it herself?
I mean, because the truth. Okay, so I would look at it like this: if I'm a guy and I'm reluctant to propose to you, there must be a reason for that. So if you propose, that situation, that whatever is still there. But
like, to me, as a man, you should like, all right, come to your senses, see what your lady wants. You know your lady wants to get married. Okay, man up. Go speak to her dad. You know what I'm saying? go about the business of preserving your manhood.
Yeah.
You're about to get emasculated.
Listen.
So just go. So just do it. Like,
no. Emasculation.
I was reluctant, but it was like, yo, all right, like, face the facts, bro. You don't want to lose her. You don't want to lose her, and you know what I'm saying. It's like you kind of know what it is, like. So just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
So why?
I shouldn't have to. A man, I shouldn't have to wait. I shouldn't have to wait as long as for her to go do that. Like, just do it, bro.
I mean, You should.
If you love,
And
if you love her, like if you love her enough and you trust her, trust is actually way more important than love. We talking about a legally binding contract.
I mean, yeah, but all
But if
that
you
ties
trust this
into it.
person to stay with you, then bro, man up. All men, I think men should just man up and do it. If it gets to the point where a woman has to do it, it's usually in this kind of like desperation. It's like desperation attempt. But that's only
Sometimes,
because
yeah.
that's only because of how passionate they are and how much they actually mean it. Like it's no fault of their own that they want to marry you. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, well, she's just being a desperate gold digger or nothing like that. No,
Right.
she's just passionate about the decision that she really wants to marry you. And a lot of them are not used to just by history or whatever. Like the women don't do it that often. So when they do it, it looks weird. There's usually a lot of tears behind it. Looks desperate,
but
looks crazy.
But again, it's to that point where we're at a place in time where there's no.
And look up the dude and look up like go like I encourage anybody watching this, go Google women proposing to men and look at the men getting proposed to.
Well, they usually look scared as shit, like, yo, what the fuck, what's going on? Because it's not.
No, they're like
normal.
fucking fashionistas.
Well, that's something else entirely. But the truth is, it's rare. It's so rare that it's still surprising to people that women will do that. But there's no shame in that. You know what I'm saying? If you love someone, you express it however you do. Just don't as long as it doesn't hurt people or
Don't wait for ladies, don't wait for him to do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Get it over with. If he says no, the relationship is over. If she says no, the relationship is over.
I wouldn't say that the relationship is over.
It's over.
I wouldn't say it's over, but there needs to have the conversation definitely needs to be had.
It's over. We're obviously on different pages here. So it's
well
over.
In that instance,
not me and you. I'm talking about
think...
if I propose to you, you're telling me no. We're on two different wavelengths, and
we may very well be at this time.
We're not wasting our time.
If I love this person, but I'm not ready to be married, that's fine. But be honest. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just be honest. Like, hey, look, can we go talk somewhere? Like, go in private or say yes in public, and then take it aside. Like, yo, look, I'm not exact. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it with some tact, but at the same time, it's rare, so it's surprising. So I get.
Yes, listen, that's very respectful and mature. How big are the assholes that say no?
Huge. You're a big asshole. If you say no,
you're an You told me no. You're an asshole. I don't want to be with you anymore. Fuck you.
But I don't think the relationship is over.
You know what this ring costs? Fuck you. You're embarrassing me in front of everybody.
I don't think the relationship is over, but a conversation definitely needs to be had.
Well, there's no conversation.
There's a conversation. That's a conversation.
You embarrassed me. I did all this grandstanding, all the balloons.
Well, ain't nobody tell you to do the grandstanding. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. You could have kept it simple, but you went to grandstand. You wanted to show everybody instead of just asking.
Because this is what's expected of us.
Exactly. So break expectations.
It's a show. It's a show.
Break expectations.
That's all part of it. It's all part of it. Which I found out was bullshit. Like my grandfather didn't do anything. And they stayed together until he died. And I swear he did nothing. He didn't even get a ring.
See? Well, and Well, listen,
Part of me-
times are different then,
I don't want to talk
but
about I don't want to talk about my grandparents like that, but
no,
yeah,
but
I can tell.
times
I
were
can tell
different
why he
then.
did it. I can tell why.
Times
He
were
did it.
different, and but that's one of those things, and I don't think it's wrong for a woman to propose. I think it's okay, and I think we agree on that. I think we disagree on the other shit. But as far as
You got me this time. I agree.
yeah, as far as women,
There should be no problem with it.
yeah,
No shit.
it shouldn't be. Um, so we're gonna do one for y'all gaming motherfuckers out there. This is for y'all. Retro games versus new games. And
Next retro games versus next gen
now
games?
so what are we talking here? Are we talking like retro games like PlayStation 2?
This is
Or
retro.
are you talking
Do
about
you see
like
it?
Mario,
This is a retro
Donkey
game.
Kong,
That's a retro
Luigi,
game.
Metroid? All right. So for
Metroid is
me,
retro. Consoles.
all right, well, I'm still a console player.
Where does the retro start?
I
Going
think
back.
all right,
Is
so for
PlayStation
me,
2 retro?
all right, so if I'm being honest, I think retro is anything PS2, Xbox, N64, and back, or GameCube and back. You know what I'm saying? So anything that's from PlayStation 2 era
Mhm.
to all the way to Atari, that's retro for me.
They're old. I don't think they're retro.
Why not? Why not? You're going to tell me Crash Bandicoot isn't a retro game?
I mean, it's an old game.
It's a retro game.
It came out.
I mean, are you talking about specifically 16-bit, 8-bit games versus
Those are retro games to me.
those
Like
are
Super,
like I'll still play Pong,
Nintendo, Atari,
Super
arcade
Nintendo,
games,
Genesis, Sega.
Super Nintendo. I think it stops at like N64.
Well, but hold
N64
on,
and
no, because
N64 and forward
and
is
PlayStation
not
are the
retro.
same era. So N64 and PlayStation are the same era.
They're not retro to me.
Well,
GoldenEye is not retro.
You said
No,
N64.
I said N64 and forward.
But again, the PlayStation was around when the N64 was around. The PlayStation came before the N64.
Anything before N64 is retro.
Well, then that takes no.
GoldenEye and
WCW
WCW versus NWO is not retro.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. GoldenEye is retro. Cut it the fuck out.
It's not retro.
Cut it the fuck out.
No, it's the birth of the new generation, bro.
No,
it was the birth.
It's
like next gen, like next gen.
Honest,
got it.
The birth of the new generation of video games, for me,
first-person shooters.
Grand Theft Auto 3. Grand Theft Auto 3, Halo. Those games are the start of the next generation of games. Grand Theft Auto 3, Halo.
They are the first generation of simulation.
No, they're not. They're not. There were simulations. There were RPGs on the N64, on the Super Nintendo, and the Nintendo. They were. Remember, Metal Gear was a Nintendo game. All right. Fucking. So there was, and then the next Metal Gear was also a Nintendo game.
You think Metal Gear is a retro game?
Huh?
Metal Gear is a retro game. Tomb Raider is a retro game.
The original one.
Resident Evil 1.
Solid. I'm talking about Metal Gear. The original Metal Gear was a was a Nintendo game.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that's a retro game. Bubble Bobble, nigga. Fucking Ghouls and Ghosts. Those
we can't even wait. We this is so we should because we can't even discuss what is a retro game or not.
well, this is what I'm saying. Like,
all right. You know what? I'll give it to you because I think I'm being difficult. And I don't
no, it's just if you look at it from this standpoint, PlayStation, the original PlayStation and the N64 came out around the same time, right?
No, they are. They're all.
That was the last bastion of platformers, of just, you know, fucking racing games, all that type of shit that still, you know, they still had some of the older graphics. They just updated a little bit. I think about games like Brave Fencer Musashi, Akuji the Heartless, fucking Jadarius, Rival Schools, GoldenEye, NWO versus WCW. Like, those are retro games. And the reason they're retro games is because if you put them in now, if you put GoldenEye in right now, your character moves like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's still it's polygonal in shape. Tomb Raider, that's a retro game. You know what I'm saying? So the original, anything from the original PlayStation on back, that's retro.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like Grand Theft Auto 3 on the PlayStation 2 is kind of the start of the PlayStation 2 itself, the Xbox. Though that's the start of the next generation of games. You know what I'm saying? So for retro games, we're going PlayStation, N64, and back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can't lie. When it comes to depth of story, graphics, and all that, obviously the new shit has it. But I still want to play Mega Man. I still want to fucking play Rival Schools. I still want to play the original Resident Evil with the fucking Jill sandwich shit and fucking turnarounds on. I will still play them shits. I have no problem playing retro games. I love new games. But for me, I think the retro games still hold some sway because I'm still that kid at heart. You know what I'm saying? I still want to play those same games I played. There's a comfort in them.
Maybe we're real old. 'Cause I do too. I actually prefer old games. I prefer retro games. I can play Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games.
I'll play Pong.
N64 games, Genesis games.
I will play.
I think they're more enjoyable.
Because they were harder.
Challenging. They were a lot more challenging, even though, like, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of memory involved. You can remember a lot of stuff. You can get through the games, and there actually was some type of means to an end. There was a lot of stories. It was a project. Like now, these games now, oh man.
Well, these games now are more cinematic. They're more of an experience. You know, it's like you play
Uncharted is one of my favorites, and Uncharted was a great movie. I said this was a great movie.
I'll tell you what, my favorite game of all time. My favorite game of all time. There are 3 games that I will pop in. 4 games. I give you 4 games. Matter of fact, I give you my top 5 games of all time. My top 5. Give me my top 5. Rival Schools, which is a
basketball game?
No, it's a Capcom fighting game. It takes place in the Street Fighter universe, but it's like teams of high school students, and you could play like 2-on-2 battles. It was a fighting game, but you had 2 characters, and you could switch out. You know, Rival Schools was fucking dope. There's a Metal Gear Solid. Snake Eater. Fucking what's that shit? Fallout New Vegas. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, that the one where you had to go into the sewers. You could
the first one?
Yeah.
And they jumped like extremely high. I just put that on my phone. Yeah.
That is the fucking joint. And Skyrim. I've been playing Skyrim now since November 11th, 2011. And I'm still playing it right now. Because the story is deep. You could do the missions thousands of different ways. And you can make your character however the fuck you want. You could be a brawler. You could be a fucking swords, magic, bow and arrow, stealth. Doesn't matter. You can do it. And there's so much depth to the game. It's just fucking perfect. And of course, Resident Evil 2. The original Resident Evil 2 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And those games are games that I can play right now, anytime. But
I'm gonna
still run through Mario. I'll still run through Mario 3.
I'm gonna flip this whole thing on its ass. Because like you're a gamer gamer. I'm a sports gamer. I play 2K. I don't even understand why we buy a new one every year. It's just the same game.
Same game every year.
But this is how much like a non-sports player like, yo, this is the same game as last year. I'm like, no, there's little intricacies that they fixed. They added something here, they did something there. So the new generation of basketball is like so realistic. It's so realistic.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, how did we play it any other way?
You remember Live 98?
Live
NBA
98.
Live 98 PlayStation.
Live 98 was so Live 97 was so bad. Live 97 was so bad. Live 98 was pretty good. Live 98 was pretty good, but I wasn't playing live. I played live, but I played in the zone. No, that was later on.
Yeah.
No, NBA Shootout. NBA Shootout 98 was my shit.
Okay.
Yeah, they had games like in the zone. Like there was a lot of games. There was a lot of basketball games, and it was like they were really bad, but they were so much fun still. Even Double Dribble, Double Dribble is a really fun game. It's a good basketball game. It's a good basketball game.
Double Dribble.
Double Dribble was a great basketball game, but no, it doesn't compare at all. It doesn't compare at all to the new.
I don't think I've ever scored a point in Double Dribble. I've never beaten Battletoads.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So then you got Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl. Super Tecmo Bowl. I'm playing. I have a season going on right now.
The Tecmo Bowl? Are you using Bo Jackson? Because if you do, that's just unfair.
No, I use the Giants and Lawrence Taylor, the greatest fucking defensive player to ever play the game. Gets every single sack every single time. We'll bust Bo Jackson's ass. You can't get away from Lawrence Taylor.
Listen, you know for a fact Bo Jackson can run to the fucking end zone, turn back, run to the other end zone, come back, and motherfucker still won't hit that motherfucker.
Yeah, he is. He's a cheat. He's a cheat on offense, but Lawrence Taylor's a cheat on defense, bro. I'm jumping everything. There's nowhere you go. You can't get away. You can't get away from it. But yeah, so then that game will always be more entertaining than any Madden you ever made.
Yeah. Well, Madden's come a long way.
Then you got what you call it? Blades of Glory hockey. Blaze of Steel, my bad.
Blaze of Steel, yeah.
Blaze of Steel was my
Blaze of Glory is something else entirely.
That's my movie. Capture the Dream.
That's my flick. That's my fucking flick, son. That's my flick.
Capture the Dream. Where'd you get that from? I don't know. But man, I don't know. Like it's like even sports games back in the day, Madden 95 was fucking. It was really, really enjoyable.
I never got into sports games like that because I was never really into sports like that. But Twisted Metal 2, fucking GoldenEye. Listen, motherfuckers would sit up for hours drinking Christian Brothers and Seagram's extra dry gin playing GoldenEye for the fucking reason.
Listen, I might not like you if you put a proximity mine somewhere. I might not fuck with you.
Yo, we had the motherfuckers turned up.
If you're gonna put it in the toilet, if you're gonna put it in the toilet of the facility, I don't like you. I don't like you. You fuck my whole vibe up. And you had to give up. You had to give up the sticks.
As a matter of fact, if you remember, I think it was for maybe the GameCube or the PlayStation 2. There was a GoldenEye game where you had something called the Q Claw. It was like a grappling hook, and you could like zip around the fucking board and shit on your grappling hook, but you could put proximity mines on like the roof of shit. I was dirty with that shit. I was one of those. I put proximity mines on the fucking wall.
Another 007 than that one. They remade GoldenEye.
They did.
For the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, it didn't work as well.
I had the gun that came with it. For the PlayStation Move, I had the gun to go with it. But you know what's fucked up? You know what you probably haven't? I don't know if you played it yet, but see, I'm playing I got the VR. I got the virtual
okay.
VR. I got the Oculus too.
I have problems with that. That kind of fuck. Since I only have one good eye, it's not the best thing for me. My equilibrium is shot.
I'm just saying. I just got this game called Blade and Sorcery, and like you stab it. I'm stuck it like, and you got the sword in your hand and like a knife in this hand, and you just stab somebody for real. Like you can't. It's not gonna like, oh, I tapped you and you're dead. No, I gotta push this thing through your sternum, and then I stab the head, pull out. And I got other people behind me trying to attack me as well. It's quite interesting.
You should play Skyrim in VR. You should play Skyrim in VR. Because like, so if you're a mage, and I'm sure we're losing a lot of people with this fucking shit, but I don't give a fuck. So if you're a mage, like you can shoot fire and lightning out of your hand. So if you're in VR, you're like,
yeah, they got that in there too. Oh man.
yeah. And see, that's something that games nowadays have that retro games just don't have. You know what I'm saying? But here's something I learned recently, speaking of retro games. Did you know that the second controller controlled the ducks in Duck Hunt?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I was
the little brother that had the second controller.
They wouldn't even let me have the second controller, the motherfuckers.
I had the second controller.
I had the unplugged one.
They thought you know what's fucked up is they thought I didn't know. Damn, I can't catch
you. I had my boy Brian, I remember he used to they would be playing Street Fighter and one of the controllers broke. This motherfucker, this is how ingenious potheads were. This motherfucker had the controller open, like, with all the wires exposed, and was playing by tapping the wires onto the circuit board and shit. And was fucking winning. That's winning with this shit. Like, this is like, yeah, Hadouken, like, motherfucker, you're putting wires on shit. What are you doing? This is not right. Man, motherfucker's ass. That
this is you know what? I'm gonna vote for retro games for this reason and this reason only. The imagination.
Yeah.
It created it's special. And a lot of and if you were to put your kids onto them, like the Switch has a lot of retro games on there. You can go back in the PlayStations and go back into some of those old games. And you'll find that your children will be very receptive to these games.
Yeah.
Because they're like, and because they come in variety.
Until you put on the Lion King. Until you try to play that fucking Lion King game and that damn second level.
I couldn't stand Aladdin.
Huh?
I couldn't stand Aladdin. I couldn't beat Aladdin.
It took me
Lion King, I
forever.
was good at. I was pretty good at Lion King.
It took me literally 3 weeks to beat the second level of fucking the Lion King, and another 3 weeks to get past the fourth level, which was like the fucking thorn bush shit. Oh my fucking god, I hated that shit.
No, wasn't that the fucking the Stampede? I couldn't do the Stampede there.
No, the Stampede was like the third level, and that was
I couldn't do the Stampede.
It was just the Lion King was fucking bullshit. It was too hard. Fuck you for making that shit. But I'm gonna say that we can agree that for us, retro games are where it's at personally, just because those games hold our heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember playing Biker Mice from Mars with Michael Hodges and fucking Craig Stewart, man. Like, fucking just chilling in the crib playing Biker Mice from Mars. It was just a racing game, and you know, it was just a different era, man. That was the era when you could play with your friends at home on one screen and y'all snacking, and you know what I mean? And nowadays everything's online and you don't get together as much. It's not the same. Like, so
I
for me,
encourage all parents with multiple kids or whatever. Go get your kids.
Get that little small PlayStation, get that little small Nintendo, put it in the AV shit or whatever, and play some games, man. For real.
Let these kids see it, man. It's not. I guarantee they will enjoy it way more than it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the next generation stuff. It's really amazing stuff. They do some amazing shit with it. There's so much realism, but it's like almost too real yet not real enough.
Sometimes, yeah. Like, there's some games.
Grand Theft Auto, people are really living the dream on there, bro. Get the fuck off my block.
which brings us to, so we can agree that retro games are on to that one, which brings me to this one. Now, you want to know, or you think, that the theory is that we're in a simulation. And
are we in a simulation?
And I would say no, because if we are, whoever the fuck is playing black people sucks, and they should get off the fucking stick. For real. Like, you suck as a game. If this is a simulation and we're just avatars and NPCs, you suck. And word up. Like, no, I don't think we're in a simulation. I don't think you know what? Unless my senses, my perception is all off and all wrong, no, I don't think it's possible that we're in a simulation. Can you see the horizon? Yes. Can you see over the horizon? No, but that's due to the curvature of the earth. So for you flat earth assholes out there, that's why you're wrong. Because the earth is curved. You cannot see over the horizon because it does this. You fucking morons. It's a pet peeve of mine. I apologize. But
I see. You seem a little sensitive on that one.
Oh, because it makes no fucking sense that people think the earth is flat. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, what's wrong with these people?
Their brains are flat.
Their brains are flat. Your fucking ass. Yeah.
No, but it kills me is that they tried to like scientifically break this down on like a whiteboard. How the earth is flat. I'm like, yo, shut.
One dude, you see the dude that tried to fucking fly a thing into fucking space, and I think he expected to hit a fucking dome. He didn't, and I think he died. So there you go, assholes. Like, I don't know if that's true. I don't think anything I just said right there is true. But
I mean, how would he? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he would do that. It's very hard to do by yourself. Elon and Jeff Bezos.
I rock with Elon, man.
They do a lot to break the atmosphere.
I'm fucking with the guy on the spectrum. I fuck with Elon. Elon Musk is a dude.
they do a lot to break the atmosphere.
They're trying. They are trying.
They're trying.
They're trying.
I don't think it's that far fetched, dude. I don't think you're looking at it in the right way. I think you're looking at it like The Sims.
I don't think we're there yet. Let me put it like that. I don't think we're there yet. I think they're pushing us towards that. I think they're definitely pushing us towards that with the advent of technology constantly being a more prevalent focus, with the bigger push to kind of integrate humans and machines in a way. Yeah, I think it's on the way. I do.
No, are you saying that eventually we'll live in a simulation? Or
I think so, yeah. Because I think
I'm saying you're already a part of it.
Well, think about it like this. That's what the metaverse.
I understand you have free will.
Well, that's what the metaverse is supposed to be.
To go where you want.
Well, Facebook is now Meta, and that's what the metaverse is supposed to be. It's supposed to be where you live in the virtual world. Like, I see Nike literally just got with a company to sell virtual shoes in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? So they're pushing to get us to be all online all the time. And that's a scary thing, because for those of us who like person-to-person interaction, for those of us who like to be amongst people and things of that nature, I'm not saying I do, fuck you people, but I'm just kidding. But no, like, I think that's where they're pushing us towards, that jacking a fucking conduit in the back of your head and plugging you in. And I'm not with that shit.
So, like, I look at like the concept of time as a form of control. I feel like the educational system it's a training. It's like a training module for the way you're gonna live your life.
Well,
I feel a lot of things that us as human beings that are a part of the like mouse on a wheel type situation.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Do our 9 to 5. And we have a very structured way of life that we're kind of breaking away from. If you like, since the pandemic, it's been like a glitch.
Oh yeah.
Matrix. It's been a glitch.
Because they didn't expect.
But before that, it was like, yo, go to school, go to college, get a job,
right,
whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? It was a small few that had aspirations for business and things of that nature. And even those things are like, I ain't gonna say they're controlled, but it's like, yo,
their control.
Try not to get they can eliminate some people from contention. Like, you're not gonna have enough money, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like who's controlling black people, they're failing at the game.
They're terrible at the game.
I don't think they're fail. I think they're very victorious because black people are the villains, and the villains can't win. So
interesting concept. But no, as far as
it's the level of control. And then I went to Miami and I said, yo, this is not real. This isn't a real fucking place. This looks creative.
How many people see that the same way you do?
I mean, people see it as like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, well, this is here. That's a washing machine. I see it. Like, and I'm like, no, this was not like, you know what I'm saying? What was this before it was that? I like looking at pictures of like 1904, the same location to where it is now. one of my favorite movies, Gangs in New York, and it was like the 5 point they fought
Yeah.
like the 5 points which was eventually then like I want to say it was Times Square, but it looked like it could have been
No,
Times
5
Square.
points is actually 5 points is actually
Union Square, some
lower
shit like that.
Manhattan. 5
Yeah.
points is like over by Wall Street or a little bit further north almost, but like Soho, NoHo area. 5 points is over there.
Yeah. So but you know what I'm saying? It's things like that I find very interesting. It's like what did it used to look like? And to then plop all of these buildings and trees, you know what I'm saying? All the fake trees and all the shit like that. And it's like people designed this. People wanted it to look a certain way. And
Yeah.
they want a certain piece of like they want a certain business here and shit here and shit there. And it's just like it's all like it's not like we all have a choice to go grab a business and all stuff like that. It's like because of money and time and like all of that stuff, we are controlled and we are forced to go about our life the way that they design it.
Exactly.
Almost to a point where it feels like, with our phone, like if I want to put it in the GPS, who's to say that what the road that I'm going on isn't fucking is actually there as I'm going towards it. Is it being generated?
Well, I ain't gonna lie.
What was that Grand Theft Auto? You go too fast. You
fly over the bridge and shit.
Hasn't even built yet. Yeah, it hasn't even been built yet.
You know what? It's interesting you say that, but again, it's like
it's not like it's the Truman Show. It's not like it's the Truman Show, but it could be.
It could be. But the truth
Truman
is,
Show
I
is
think
not far off, bro.
I think if this were a simulation, people would be a lot happier. There wouldn't be as much strife. There wouldn't be like honestly, if this were a simulation of life shouldn't be so hard. You know what I'm saying? It should be a lot easier for people. People should be able to succeed more because if it is a simulation, you would never want to simulate being poor. You would never want to simulate being broke. You would never want to simulate facing racism and classism and this and that. Everybody would play to win. Everybody would play and do the cheat code to get $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody. So no, I don't think we have that. I don't think we have the ability to have that in us yet. But I think we're on the way there.
I don't know. My wife is asking me about a song. What song?
It's been in my head for like 3 days.
Well, how's it go?
See on the run. That song. On the wind.
Ride like the wind. Yeah, ride like the wind. Who the fuck sings that?
Thank you.
In my mind, I want to say "Cool in the Gang," but I know that's not right.
It's not Cool in the Gang. So I ride. It's on the front. It's in the beginning of Anchorman 2.
In the beginning of what?
Anchorman 2.
Oh shit! I know the song.
Oh, I don't know. I forgot who sings that shit.
Is it not Earth, Wind, and Fire?
It might be. Some white boy probably stole it. His name is Chris. The song is by Christopher Cross, but I'm pretty sure it's been stolen. Is that a white man? Sounds like one.
The white man was sold.
Hey, they happen.
It's a white man with soul. I like it.
They happen. Yeah, that happens.
It's a great song. It's a great song, by the way. Great song.
One of my favorite songs is I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. That's Foreigner. I didn't know that was a white group. I mean, that's a white boy band, but they sang some fucking hits, man. They sang some hits.
Listen, I am not I'm not objective with my. I mean, I'm not. What is that? I'm not biased with my music.
No, hell no. I listen to anything. Honestly,
Listen,
I've been on a big Bob Seger kick lately. Like, uh, just take them old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. Like that's Bob Seger. I was like, oh, yo, this motherfucker sang like 18 songs I never knew he sang. But there's mad songs he sang. I was like, oh, that's one of my favorite songs. Holy shit. Okay, Bob Seger. You know.
hell,
So,
the music that we listen to is that not a simulation?
oh well, no,
It
music
might be.
is magic. Music can teleport you to a time and place. Music can teleport you to a specific memory, a thought, a feeling. Music is magic. I don't know any other way to say it.
Music is that, but a lot of the music that is given to us and pushed out for us to hear.
It's cookie cutter bullshit, to be sure.
Like,
But
it's like it's on some like Lego movie type shit.
bravo, good job. No, but I don't know if we're in a simulation again, like then motherfuckers is playing poorly and they need to get off the joystick and hand it up because they suck.
But listen. If you're playing Grand Theft Auto, right? Are you punching strangers in the street?
No, I don't generally do that.
Do you drive? Do you stop at red lights?
No.
Do you like? Do you just go on a random killing spree?
Yes. But no, you know what happens?
Do you go out of your way?
No, because here's the thing. Like, if you play Grand Theft Auto 5, motherfuckers be talking slick shit out their mouth. So sometimes, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, what you say to me? And then I'll silence pistol and shoot you and, then go pop at the cops. But that's Grand Theft Auto. You're allowed to do that.
So now what I'm saying is like, do you as the controller of the world, do you really give a damn about the world that you're consuming at the time? Because the people that have no problems whatsoever are the ones that are out here making decisions for us and creating all the things, creating the media, controlling the media that we consume. These people are living the lavish life. They don't have a problem in the world. The problem that they have is like just trying to make sure their game doesn't end.
Well, by that standard, then yeah, that's a fucked up simulation. But if this were a simulation, then it shouldn't be a problem to overthrow them, because then you just change the code and wipe them out, make them more empathetic, more amenable to ideas.
Well, I feel like a lot of people have, because since the pandemic, it's like, yo, I'd rather be unemployed than work for you.
I mean, but you know what? I think the pandemic allowed people to pursue that which they always wanted to. In that regard.
Yeah, because they got free money.
Yeah, and nobody really wants to work for other people.
You still need money to survive, because you can't. But we have found ways to utilize technology, because technology is a form of freedom. There's a lot of like innovation that has set you free from the system that you're consumed by.
Yeah.
And technology has a way of freeing you from that, like we're doing right now.
Right.
We have because of technology, because of Zoom, we have the ability to broadcast our own television show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's people have found different avenues to make money. They can be like, being a delivery being a delivery person was like a complete and utter joke when we were growing up. Oh, you're a delivery boy. You're delivering pizzas.
And now
do that
that's
shit
a
for a
viable
living.
option. Now it's a
Yes.
viable option.
I drove like driving a taxi. It's just like, what? Why would you do that? I did the math, and if I did Lyft for 3 hours, I would make equivalent or more than I'm making at my job in one day. So if I put the amount of work, because I'm about to go do a double tonight. I did 16 hours of lifting. I could pay off a car. I could pay off a car that I rented in one day, and then keep the rest of the money for myself.
Right. And you know what?
There's ways of breaking out of the system.
But that's the type of thing that leads me to believe we're not in a simulation, because if you were in a simulation, why the fuck would you work for a living? You understand what I'm saying?
Because the simulator needs you to do that.
Yeah. But the simulator would also allow cheat codes. And I would put in the cheat code for all the money I need. Why the fuck would I work when I could just put in the cheat code?
If you know how to code, you can create the cheat. You can put in the cheat code.
So what we're saying, kids, is learn how to code.
Why not?
And
why not? Why haven't the people that do know how to code set us free yet? Like, yo, upturn a bitch here.
because maybe the ones that know how to code are the simulators. Maybe the ones that are coders are the simulators, and they're the ones really in power. We're just believing that they're the fucking white hat knights that are gonna come and set us free.
My favorite Die Hard was Live Free or Die Hard. Die Hard 4.
That was your favorite one? Really?
Favorite one. That was my
the
favorite
PG one?
That was my favorite one. I thought it had the best. I thought it had the best story, and the most diabolical villain of all time.
Well, all right. So I can't lie. Timothy Oliphant as an actor is one of my favorite actors of all time. Timothy Oliphant has been in 3 of my top 10 favorite movies, and that's saying something.
But the dude infiltrated the government and created a fire sale and fucked. They had the whole country in a standstill.
Right, because he knew how the government works and the way they operate their systems. And this is what I'm always saying.
The weakness of the system, the weakness of the system, and can completely destroy it.
Well, I would say that personally, for me, Die Hard with a Vengeance, with Samuel L. Jackson is my favorite personally. But that one made me watch 4. I didn't watch the first.
But
if I'm being honest, my favorite Bruce Willis movie happens to be The Last Boy Scout. Huh?
Pulp Fiction?
The Last Boy Scout. Him and David Wayans.
Not Pulp Fiction.
No, not Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies, but my favorite Bruce Willis movie happens to be what's it called? The Last Boy Scout. And then Death Becomes Her.
Again, not Pulp Fiction.
Not Pulp Fiction, no. Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies, to be sure, but it's not my favorite Bruce Willis movie.
Bruce Willis was amazing in that.
He was, but my favorite Bruce Willis movie is what the fuck did I just say? I'm drunk now. No, my favorite Bruce Willis movie is The Last Boy Scout, and then Death Becomes Her, and then I think Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, just
that's it. That's your personal.
And then Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction happens to be my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm sure the
sure the algorithm knows that.
They do now. It definitely does now. If it didn't before, it does now. But so we can. I don't know if we are disagreeing that we're going to agree to disagree that we are in a simulation because I don't think we are.
I'm about to go to work now, like they want me to.
Then you know what? Maybe you are in a simulation. I'm doing overtime tomorrow,
I told this
little
girl that came in my job today. I said, you just walked into our simulation, right? She said, what?
Fuck that poor child up, man.
I didn't know this. It's a psychiatric hospital. I probably fucked her up. I didn't expect her to be so, or even understand it. But she was like on it immediately. What? It's a simulation. What do you mean it's a simulation? I'm like, nah, I'm just messing with you. But there are rules. There are rules. We expect you to go do things in a certain way, and if you disturb that, or we will medicate you, throw you away into a certain area, and remove you from this civilization because this civilization has to act a certain way.
So maybe mental hospitals are simulations because what the fuck else could they be?
Anywhere with an idea and a structure of how things are going to go within this area. I mean, the driving is a simulation. You can't just run red lights. You can't turn wherever you want. Sometimes they tell you don't turn here.
Yeah.
Are you going to turn there? Are you going to turn there? If you do, there's penalties.
Right. Right. So I mean, but that doesn't scream simulation.
You're looking at it like the Sims, or like, you know what I'm saying, these Second Life games or something like that. Like we're not that, but it doesn't mean that it's no less not some form of a simulation. Now, I was watching this. Who's this? The scientist? There's brothers. One's an activist and one's a scientist. Michael Dyson. What the fuck is this guy's name? He's a very smart, eloquent black man, activist. Forgot his fucking name. He's like my cousin's favorite person in the world.
Okay.
And then he has a brother that is an amazing scientist. And so when they had this conversation, he said the only thing that stops us from being a simulation is that we can't create a simulation. We aren't able to create a simulation that can simulate itself.
That's complicated as fuck.
It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense because it's like, and we're still doing it. We're still trying to do it. We have Second Life and all the stuff like that. But can those things that we create just operate on their own? Can they and like I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty. Did we have this conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, so the part where he made a life to control, he created a world that worked and controlled it, or powered his battery. So they were working, and then when one of them created a world that did the same thing. And it was like kind of like Morty looked at it like slavery, like, you're making these guys work to power your battery, and then somebody in that world created a world where they started working to give them power, so they don't have to work, and now they have free will.
Right. Totally fucking entire.
But now Morty. I mean, Rick's battery's not working, so y'all have to stop.
It was crazy. But yeah, no, I mean, but I also believe in multiversal theory, so there's that. And
I don't think we'll ever have a Grand Theft Auto that's just operating on their own, and then
Oh
they end
God,
up
no.
making it. They end up making it, and then within that universe, they create they create a video
I don't
game.
think I'd want to live in that world. I can't lie. That is not the world I want to live in. I don't.
So I don't think we're in a simulation. I don't think we're in a simulation from that standpoint because we
No,
can't create
no,
it.
not
So we'll just
yet.
have.
But I think we're
We
on the
we
path.
never will.
No, I think we're with
Virtual
things like
reality,
with
this
shit like
metaverse shit.
Neuralink and CRISPR, where they can alter your genes and shit like that. I think we're a short time away from being able to interact with the internet and the metaverse in a way that's unprecedented. I think it's only a matter of time.
It's still the metaverse is still something man-made. Like
Yeah.
they're accepting or looking at an opportunity to
But it's still
look. They're creating a new space. But at the same time, we have to still engage
working
in
the
it.
old one.
We still have to work in the old one, exactly.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that you got things like you got cryptocurrency or whatever that is another thing that defies the system. You can, but
Yeah.
still you can't do the essential things to survive in the real world with cryptocurrency yet. It's like I can't pay my electric bill with cryptocurrency yet.
No,
You know?
not yet, but hopefully soon.
It won't, not until they can control that shit.
And that's the thing about cryptocurrency. There's no controlling it. So
look, you had whatchamacallit, Iron Man. Dude that can do anything. That's his suit. He built it or whatever. Like, what are you gonna tell him what to do and how to do with his suit? And yet and still, they still will fight you tooth and nail for your suit because no, we don't control that.
no.
You can't just go do whatever you want with the suit and go willy-nilly. What am I like? What if you start shooting at us? Like they have to control everything.
Yeah, to a degree, I think that's right. And
Maybe it's just America. Maybe America's a simulation. You leave America, you can see freedom.
maybe it changes.
See what
Man.
actual
I
freedom
don't know.
looks like.
But
See what
I think we
actual
can
freedom looks
agree that we're not currently in a simulation, but I think that eventually we will get to that point, and that's kind of scary.
Then we're disagreeing because I think we're in a simulation.
All right.
Right now. I'm telling you, I went to Miami, dude. That shit is not organic. There's nothing organic about Miami. It was created. It was created for one purpose and one purpose only.
Fuckery.
Fornicate.
Okay. Yeah. I believe that. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
It's a place to
South
fornicate.
Beach. South Beach is created just for fucking.
South Beach and Miami Beach is created to fornicate. Absolutely.
And with that, I think we're gonna end
from the rooter to the tutor. There's fake trees, all kind of shit. Dude. It's beautiful. This is too much. Not even God can make this. This is crazy.
Oh man. Yo, look. So for my brother Shaun Wallace, I of course am your boy Frank Starfire. We have agreed to disagree. Actually, we agreed more tonight than any other time, so that's always good.
We did. So it's definitely a feat.
Good time. It was a good time.
Good time.
Good brother, I appreciate you as ever for joining me. And
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love you.
Yeah,
Have you heard? Have you heard any? Did any of the ladies accept my apology?
You know what? One of them did. Yeah, they actually did. It was like, okay, he did apologize a little bit, but the middle finger didn't help.
Because I didn't apologize.
Exactly, you fucking jerk. But hey, you know what?
Apologize. But yeah, I hope that they watch majority of it and see. I'm an ally. I'm an ally for women. I'm not as much of an asshole as you think. I'm a freak. Yeah. No, they were what they call me, pig. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I was pretty.
Maybe a little
I'm
bit.
pretty bad. I'm pretty
Maybe a
bad.
little
But
bit.
my lady loves me for it.
Oh shit. That's a whole nother story. We'll get that next time. I swear. Wait, what?
Maybe. Just we can't give them all. Give them everything.
No.
Give them everything. We can give them all of you. We can give them all of you. We can give them all of you. You go crazy.
I tell everything. I have no secrets on this motherfucker, but maybe I should have some. I don't know. But I want to thank y'all ever so much for joining me from a brother Shaun Wallace. I'm your boy Frank Starfire. This has been the Just Be Frank podcast. Agree to disagree. Appreciate you for joining us as ever. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, hit that motherfucking little notification bell so you know when we drop new shit. Appreciate you. One love. Abracadabra. Peace.